up, everybody? Welcome to the Wingin It podcast. Jack, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Getting reintroduced to the comment section of YouTube. So it's always fun.
Oh,
Always.
I take it you got a life story and a doctoral thesis on one of your videos.
It's nothing worse than someone complaining to you about giving your opinion on a video to where I said, this is my opinion. If you did, I wasn't coming in here to tell you what the masses think. I'm giving you my opinion. That's what the whole video was about. So yeah,
The whole shebang bang.
yeah, yeah.
All right, Andre, man, how you doing?
I mean, I am being the situational menace today, as you can see right there. Oh, well, I'll try right there because the situational menace. That's what it says. That's what I am.
Boy. Oh boy. Yeah, we're gonna get into that early today. But before we get into that, man, what y'all been playing? Andre, what you been playing?
Surprisingly, Sonic Frontiers.
That's a fun game. I don't know why people's hating on
No,
it.
it's.
We had this conversation last night.
I can see where people have issues with the game because it doesn't feel like the typical Sonic game. But for me, it's a good game.
I mean, the one on Wii U wasn't a typical Sonic game.
And people, for some reason, think the Switch version is awful. The game runs perfectly fine when I'm playing it.
Right.
And I have no G Switch, so I no problem playing it. It works perfectly fine.
Yeah. Handheld mode, everything.
Played First Descendant a little bit. Didn't get back into it like I wanted to. And I also played some Fire Emblem.
Okay.
Which one?
Fates.
Okay.
All right, Jack, what about you?
I've been playing Underdogs on the VR. I tried First Descendant for the first time today. Is that game supposed to be like that hectic? Like every time, like I finish a mission, I'm like, oh, the mission's over. Go over here. You can do another one. Jump right in there. You can. Oh, I'm in another. All right, cool.
as soon as you hit that thing, they coming. I'm like, thank you.
It's like it's not even like they pop up while you're in a mission. It's like I finished the mission. They're still shooting at me. I'm about to go jump into another mission, and then it'll teleport me to like maybe literally the next building right next to me, and then we shooting again. I'm like, okay, cool.
There are a couple of them. There are a couple of missions that are like that, where like you finish it, and if somebody just ran up and hit the thing, if you're on the other side, you're still in it.
Yeah.
So that's happened to me a couple of times. So,
but it's been cool. I mean, I have no qualms with it whatsoever. I've been playing. Let me make sure I get this right. Zoneless Zero something is
Zen zero whatever.
Yeah, made by the people that
Zenless
made
Zone Zero
Genshin Impact game. Which I didn't even know they made it, but then when you start playing, you're like, I get it. But I mean, when you start playing it, because I only dabbled in it a little bit, I can understand what people were talking about of it just kind of being like a button masher in a way. I mean, you still got some timing you need to pull off with it. I mean, but visually it looks appealing. Like even when you pull off your dodges correctly, doing the character swaps, the specials, kind of like adding up the combos, it looks great. I mean, I've been skipping all the story elements of it because I don't really care. But it's like, but it's been a pretty fun game so far. And then I think I have like one more area to clear in Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. Is at that point now to where I'm just trying to get it over with. Because you know how some games is like, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I want more. And then there's games like, Dag, you're not over yet. It's one of those where I'm like, okay, I'm just ready to be done with it. I'm ready to get it over with.
Okay. All right. Me, I've been playing Trails Through Daybreak, enjoying that. And I've been playing First Descendant, put some gameplay up for the Lepic today on the channel. So you can check that out. It's only 30 minutes. And I put another 30-minute video that's going to go live tomorrow with Blair. So I'm thinking I'm leaning toward probably running with Blair on certain stuff, but I do like Lepic because them grenades be coming in handy. I'm sorry, I'd be lighting people up.
So when do you start getting new descendants?
I went and bought the battle pass.
Oh, okay.
You can get the credit. You got to get through this introductory part to start getting the credit stuff.
Okay.
But they do a good job with better than like Destiny and Warframe, in my opinion, of like giving you the steps to get it, because like one of you can pick up Bunny early.
Okay.
You got to get her parts to make her thing, and I already got like 3 of them. I just got to do one more thing to get the last one, and boom, I'm done.
Okay.
So it is one of those, but I'm enjoying it. Yeah, it takes from Destiny and Warframe, but I'm liking what they're doing, because one of the things I do like is that they put how long everything's supposed to take. Like if you hit the thing on it, oh yeah, at your level for this little mission you got to do 15 minutes. For this mission, 2 minutes. For this mission, 3 minutes. I'm like, oh, bet. So
yeah, and it's great when people jump in out of nowhere, because if you're on public, they jump in and makes it a lot faster too.
Bro, I got so much help, because one time it's one mission that you do early in Kingston where you gotta blow up the generators, and once you make it to the central area, they crowd that mug quick. If you by yourself, good luck. But I had some people jump in with me, and I'm like, thank you, because I wasn't making it out of that.
Yeah, I was the same way, and it didn't even dawn on me to check my equipment either, because after going through the mailbox, you get so much of sorry, maintenance issues. Here's some items. Sorry for the maintenance issues again. So
I'm thankful for that, because all right, so the game came out Tuesday. It was down Wednesday, and they gave a lot of people stuff for as an apology. I don't thank you, because you shouldn't have that issue first week. And some of that stuff did come in handy, because some of the modules did come in handy on my scout rifle and on my AR. Yeah, assault rifle that mug up.
So have you gotten to a point to where, or is there a point where you upgrade your grapple? Because I swear my grapple doesn't hook on to shit. Like
I got the pieces. I'm missing one more part.
Okay.
To upgrade it. I think I got to do this this private mission. And I can't remember the name of the area. It's adjacent to Kingston. I'm on that part. So I did the one in Kingston where you have to do that one by the private solo run. I did that one. I got to do another one at the top of the map. Okay. And that's the one I'm at now. I'm trying to get my mastery rank up to 4, because right now I'm at 3. And I'm trying to get a couple more stuff and be at like level 15 before I go in there, because I don't want to deal with all that. It was red when I looked at it. It was red when I went and looked at it, and it said it's gonna take me 20 minutes. I'm like, yeah, y'all ain't finna kill me. So I'm finna go back out here, level up a little bit more, get me another mastery rank. Then I'm gonna come in here and wipe the floor with all y'all.
Right.
But yeah, that's one thing I will say I do like that they did, was actually show people, okay, look, for this mission you can go private or public. But this is how long it's gonna take you, because this is what your level is.
Yeah. That was pretty dope. So
I'm like, thank you for that.
Yeah, so I'll continue playing it. I was getting ready to jump into, I think it was one of my missions, and in a matter of like 2 seconds, it kicked me back to the main screen. So I mean, we'll see. I mean, it seems like they're still working out some kinks, but I like it so far.
Yeah, it's not bad, and I've always wanted to get in on the ground floor of one of these looter shooters, because I like Warframe, but I'm 10 years behind.
Yeah,
and so when you're trying to, it's hard to catch up, because people that's like already got all their stuff, like. I understand why you in trouble right now, but you know, because if I come through, I'm just gonna one shot everything, and you need to work on that.
They just gonna roll up like Reggie B. It's not my problem,
right?
Yep. And walk away.
So I've had that happen a couple times. I'm like, dude, you see me over here dying? Help me! So, but yeah, and like with Destiny, I kind of came in on the back end of that too. So this one, I actually like, okay, I'm in here from week 1. So I'm gonna be able to, I should be able to, if I play it every week, a couple nights a week, I should be able to like stay up and stuff. So that's what I'm hoping anyway. Okay, so situational minutes. You want to start us off?
Because that's perfect.
Want to start us off? Because all right, perfect. First off, let me full disclosure. I have no kids. Okay, I do have a nephew that's autistic, and so. When Alana Pierce made her little statement, so I'm prefacing this, but my co-hosts here, they have kids. So I'm going to let them talk first before I say my piece. So, Andre, the floor is yours.
So, firstly, I know that this all came as backlash to Elden Ring not having a normal pause feature.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about that. That's not the big thing to me. And after I did some research after having my little rant, I had a further bit of a rant if you've listened to that video,
Mm-hmm.
especially towards the end of it. You will know how I feel exactly about the particular people that are trying to use the situational disability as a way to say, oh, I'm inconvenienced.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not situation. And when I looked it up separate of the gaming stuff outside of the Alana Pierce stuff, I don't follow her. I don't pay attention to anything she does.
Right.
But when I looked that up separately, it's literally supposed to be a phrase that you can use in place of temporary disability.
Mm-hmm.
We all know what a temporary disability is.
Mm-hmm.
That means you are like for a set period of time, you are incapable of doing a certain thing, whether that be physically or mentally. You are during this particular set of time, you are impaired. That's what it is. I'm not with everybody using words that have a definite meaning or that have a weighted meaning to them and
Mm-hmm.
taking them and then diminishing the weight of the words. And
Right.
if this is an industry thing going around, well, you already know industry. I have two words for you, and they rhyme with muck and do. And I will say it wholeheartedly with my full chest. The only reason I'm not doing it here because we still early in.
Right.
And I know YouTube and several other places have a certain thing for certain phrases within a certain amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
But if they ever say it to me directly, I will directly say those words and tell them exactly why I said those words.
Right.
Because you're not going to tell me that someone's a situational arsonist.
That's
or a situational abuser.
right.
Oh, they only do it under these specific certain circumstances. So they're still what you're saying they are.
Right.
It doesn't matter how many times they've done it if they've showed a pattern that they keep doing it. Oh,
Right.
he only burnt that house down because the materials were right there outside. Like, come on, like let's be real. Let's be real.
Yeah.
And like having somebody say that, like, and I have family members that have disabilities or have been disabled. My grandmother, my last surviving grandparent, when I was younger, had both of her legs amputated.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way in the world you're going to tell me that, oh, she's got a situational disability. I smacked the taste out your goddamn mouth. And hopefully your tongue don't ever heal.
Right.
Like, people like we got this problem with diminishing the meaning of a word, overusing it to the point that its weight is taken away from you. And then someone has to say, and it's going to happen. Are they disabled or disabled?
Right. There
it's going to happen. And I'm tired of these people taking stuff like this and using, because I know it has something to do with money. I know it has something to do with somebody trying to make money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, my feelings are known. Y'all want to keep up this type of stuff? You're going to shoot yourselves in the foot. Mm-hmm. And that won't be a situational disability.
There you
go. Jack?
How can I start this off? So similar to Andre, could care less about the pause button. Jay, you said it, press the home button if there's no pause button. But I kind of go in the same lane as Andre when it comes down to wording. This isn't just like an Alana Pierce thing. This is like a global thing to where we take words, we redefine them and use them for other purposes. Some not as significant. So you look at something in, let's say, the hip hop culture, to where most people say, if I say something's dumb, that means that's what it is. It's dumb. To where at one point in time we call something dumb as in like, oh, yo, that was dope. Like this is we have those understandings, but then that's when we come in with common sense. But when you look at what she said as far as situational disability, didn't even know that was a thing. And similar to Andre, I had to look it up. And I saw the definition. And to me, this is where, same thing like Andre said, we already have a word for that. It's called inconvenience. Like, there is no disability. You have the ability to pause the game, not in this, I guess, in your natural form of pressing said pause button, but there is a way for you to, I guess, put the game to a halt, if you will. Even more so, why is this coming out of your mouth when you don't have children? Like, I don't understand how this came out of your mouth to try to address why something needs a pause button. It kind of reminds me of when I was still in the military at the time and Xbox One was dropping. And they were talking about the whole DRM thing. Like,
Oh
hey,
boy,
you
I
needed
remember
to
that.
do the whole, you need to do the online check-ins and all that good stuff. Well, what about the troops? They won't be able to play. First and foremost, are you one of the troops? No, then stop using us for an argument. Because I'll be the first one to tell you, you look real stupid, because we do have internet in Afghanistan and Iraq. We have our own private servers. So yes, we were still gaming. It is using these bigger terms or bigger entities that most people don't want to touch because it's been on a pedestal or is very patriotic. It gets muddy real fast. So using the term situational disability, there's nothing that stops you from playing that game. And there's nothing that stops you from that at all. She is physically capable. Now, if you're talking about pausing the game, you can pause your interaction with said game and go and tend to what you want to attend to. That is your form of pausing for that game. Nothing stops you from like removing yourself. Like, they did not put something in place to say the moment that you lock into Elden Ring, your controller, your hands can't move from this controller. Like, you're locked in. Like, it doesn't tie you to the game at all. You're not suspended to the game. So to even say that you cannot remove yourself or you cannot do something and it's identified as a disability more so than an inconvenience, or just there are no options to do so, was very disingenuous. I'm not one that's gonna complain and cry about it, because I don't care about Alana Pierce. I didn't care about her when she was on her last platforms. I don't watch her content. The only reason why this popped up is because people were talking about it, and the only reason why I know who she is because I frequent older content that we used to watch as far as gaming was concerned. Whether you talk about your IGNs, your Game Spots, your Game Bombs, your X Plays, like, I've always indulged in all of that stuff. So there are certain people I may know of, and I do not follow their individual content that they do now on your Twitches, your Instagrams, and things of that nature. So for me personally, just to wrap it all up, looking at it from a parent standpoint, I know a lot of people are looking at it as in like, hey, I will never call my child a disability. I wouldn't go that far as in like saying that's what she was doing. But I will say her choice of words was very dumb. And the simple fact that this phrase is utilized for that particular purpose is wild. Like, just say it's an inconvenience. They need to add a pause button because you feel like you can't walk away from it to go heat up a hot pocket and call it a damn day. Like, that's just like, you didn't have to bring kids into it, especially when you don't have children. So that's my thing.
My whole point, my whole issue with this is, one, it's incredibly stupid to say something like that. Two, like you said, she don't have no kids. Why are you saying that? Three, it's a flat out lie. Hit the home button.
Yeah.
If you're on PC, hit spacebar.
Yeah.
Get up, handle your responsibility as an adult, come and sit your ass to and come back and sit down and play the game if that's what you choose to do. Person up there saying that and then talking slow, trying to, because you have to talk slow and soft.
We gotta treat you like children
because you're a child and you don't understand how things go. You're an adult. And I know I'm Gen X. I know I'm Generation X. I'm a little bit. I'm not millennial or Gen Z, so I'm a little bit more.
Look, nah, we ain't gonna get that.
I know that.
I ain't giving that excuse.
I know all that, but damn that. Damn that.
Don't even give her that.
Don't give
nobody the opportunity to
wrong.
that one back.
My thing
is wrong.
My thing, she was dead wrong because, like I said, number one, she ain't got no kids. Why are you using that? Why are you using that example? Number two, It's a flat out lie.
Yeah.
Because you have the home button. If you hit that home button, that game stops. Now, the other thing too is she's playing Elden Ring. She's not playing Splatoon. She's not playing Call of Duty. She's not playing Halo Infinite. She's not playing Warzone. She's not playing nothing online. She's playing Elden Ring. Hit the home button. Do what you have to do. Sit back down.
Yeah.
I don't see where the problem is. Now, if she's saying, hey, I'm saying this to explain, industry terminology, then you probably should have led with this. We probably need to change this.
That would be a good thing to lead with. But the biggest problem is, because there are other ways to pause the game. And Elden Ring does have the online component because you can have people hop in and out your game, but you can play it offline separately.
But I'm saying the way it's advertised is single player. Yeah, that's how it's advertised.
But either way, the terminology is horrible. Just like that dude tried to explain to me when I said that the terminology is horrible. You're just being stubborn. No, the terminology is horrible. Yeah. It doesn't matter if I understand what it means. It's still bad terminology. I'm not gonna go out and say a cake is a cookie. Like we wouldn't make that distinction. Say, oh, that's a cookie there, even though it's fluffy and I can cut big slices out of it. That's a cookie. That soft, floury thing is a cookie.
I'll take it a step further with that one. We know of things that are law, but don't make any damn sense.
Yeah.
But you as someone with common sense know, like, even though that is the law, I still won't partake in it because it's just not right. We see it all the time. I mean, you still got some states that still have slavery in it. You still have some states that, I think it was what Alabama considered anything outside of missionary is illegal.
Yep.
We know.
And Montana.
Right. Like, we know these things are law, but don't mean that they should be abided by. You know what I'm saying? No. So same thing with what you're saying. Like, where that context goes. Like, where that goes. Why use it?
And
well, I could, like I said, it's probably a money thing.
Yeah.
Because the industry wants certain people, and she's popular enough. The industry wants certain people to say certain things so that they can perpetuate certain ideas, and then they can flip those ideas into making money. Because how easy would it be to say, oh, you want some situational disability insurance for your game?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
$5.
That's crazy.
It's an easy gimmick. It's an easy little gimmick to get people that are ready to rush in behind a bunch of things and say, oh no, I support people with this. Hate me for saying this, but body positivity was originally about people with disfigurements.
There you go.
And missing limbs and things on the body that just lips, wanted like that, to be respected as normal people. That's what it was about.
Yep.
Once it became a thing about people's weight and stuff like that, it lost its purpose. It diluted its purpose. It lost its message. That can be in there, but it shouldn't have been the main focus.
There you go.
The other thing I will say too is white knights. I really hate y'all. Hey, Shadow.
Sorry, I'm white knighting, so you got to excuse me because apparently I defend everything she says. So,
so
let me have this. I need to have this battle with y'all. I got to defend my queen. Apparently,
there you go.
Apparently, I'm
defend your milk, brother.
Apparently, I'm bootlegging. But the only thing I agreed with was add the pause button because that game could have a pause button. Like, it could.
Good, yeah.
Now for the reason she says, nah, absolutely not.
Because Shadow, you have kids, correct?
Oh, I do. Yes.
So if somebody's knocking on the door, can you hit the home button and just go answer the door?
Ever since we.
Thank you.
Ever since we.
That's all. Thank you. And now is it that hard to do?
Absolutely not.
Thank you.
But you see how two things can be true at the same time? It's just, but that's impossible to say on Twitter.
I was just surprised. I was just surprised you defended your queen. I'm surprised.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your pasty putts. You do that.
I don't know. The thing is, and I looked at the dude that whole thread dude was going back and forth. I was like, the message is pretty clear. He's responding to the person that made the comment, not what she said.
Yeah.
Like
just add pause. That's it. And I made it a point to say I don't agree with her a lot, not at all. And so I'm like, hey, this one thing, add pause. Yes, that one thing for this one particular game. Yes. And I get a response talking about all kind of multiplayer games, and I'm like, bro, nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about that at all.
Night Wolf, we're talking about Alana Pierce and her choice of words.
Yeah,
and
it was really bad.
Which is apparently industry talk, and I don't know why people want to use. Oh, this is industry talk. This is what they say in the industry. Does that make it?
That doesn't make it better. That doesn't make it any better. No. It's like saying, "Hey, you know all that locker room talk they do? That's fine if you say it on the street." No, it ain't.
No, it ain't.
No, it ain't.
No.
No, it ain't.
And that's one of the other things too. The co-opting of the languages. That's what bothers me too. And that's and unfortunately, if it ends up frustrating and stirring up the wrong types of people, to where you start thinking that inclusion everywhere is bad. And it's not that, it's people that corporatize a lot of this stuff so they can make a profit some type of way. They take over things that's intended for people to be included in stuff. And they're like, well, we're going to make it a new thing now so everybody can get hip to it and use it. And I'm like, you're not disabled. So there's no reason for you to claim any of this. But you're only doing this because you want to classify something in a way that makes you sound smarter than you are. Right. And that
it doesn't.
And help you make some money.
Yeah.
And be controversial at the
gross.
same time. And be controversial so you can claim that you about to get canceled, and so they can bring even more white nights to give even more money.
But I'm vouching for people that have disabilities. No, you're not. You're literally destroying language that helps them.
I at my old job, there was this guy. He just had to be an ally for everybody. He had to be an ally for everybody. You can't be an ally when you don't listen to nobody.
There you go.
So I hate it because now you got people out here that would just hate all disability talk altogether, and they'll do things like down the Xbox controller for special needs. Like that thing is awesome and it exists for a very specific reason, but because of shit like this, now you got the talk of, well, everything's woke now and everything's inclusive and we need to just get rid of all of it. And I'm like, no, don't go there. And it creates a slippery slope that doesn't need to be there. And I hate it. I hate it all.
Yeah. And all she had to do, if it was industry talk, just say, leading in, this is industry, this is stuff we say in industry, and we probably need to change it.
Yep.
She wasn't going to say that because money.
It's just so funny seeing how these people that were, kids in the industry starting, like literally a teenager starting in the industry, just now coming to grips with experiences that we've all been through already, and now they're trying to make it important. Like, my kids are adults now, so I've been through it. So I don't create new words for the thing that you're going through that I've been through twice already.
But
I don't get out there.
But she don't have kids.
She got kids. That makes it worse when you put it into that.
She don't have kids.
That was my main.
So who are you speaking for?
Who are you speaking for? Exactly. You don't have kids.
And I would say this because there was a lot of parents who had issue with her wording because and I will say this to her: if she ever had kids, let somebody call her kids a situational disability and see how fast Nala Sarabi and any other line has come out of her.
Let somebody say that. Let somebody say that in my presence, and they won't be able to speak for the rest of their life.
Right. It's nuts. Like, you're not gonna call my kids a situational disability.
It doesn't
absolutely
make any sense. All you had to say, you had inconvenience, imposition. Yeah. It's just not a situation.
Even the bodies get it right.
There's so many different words.
And even then, though, at the same time, you're an adult. If you got a kid and you're an adult, then guess what? If your child is like 5 and under and stuff like that, guess what you're gonna probably not be doing a lot of?
Gaming.
Your hobbies.
Yeah. And that's
you gotta take care of them.
And after that 10, they might be in your lap while you're doing it.
So and that
thing. I'm like,
that's my other part
Guilty as
too. Now,
charged.
so Elden Ring came out how long ago? So
Quite a while.
my thing is, you're not playing this game for work, right? The whole point, if you're talking about a quote unquote situational disability, it's something that's stopping you from doing something important. It shouldn't be, hey, oh, I can't have more of my leisure, so therefore it's a temporary disability on me. Like, what are we doing?
like, no.
Get away from me, child.
It would make more sense if it stops you from working in some
Move,
type of way.
peasant.
Yeah, you're not reviewing Elden Ring clearly, so I don't. Whatever you're playing it for, maybe you're streaming it for money or something. But there should be zero reason for an industry to be dependent on you to play this game right now.
Well, the other thing too.
So it's not a situational disability.
Even if you are streaming, I've seen so many streamers. Hey guys, I'll be right back.
Boy, hold
There you
on
go.
a second. I'm gonna get up and
Yeah.
take care of this. I'll be right
Yeah.
back.
5 minutes, stay back. They
Dude,
doing their
like
thing.
Player Essence's chair is an entire character. They talk to the chair while he's gone. It's an entire thing. The chair gets super chats. Like
Yeah, it actually does.
I kind of
That's
want to get
wild.
to that point.
That's wild.
I'm like, hey, look, this the chair. His name is Bobby. Y'all
yeah,
gonna chill with him for a minute.
and I'll be right back.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Hi, Vicky.
Hey, Vicky.
No, Debo.
so more popular streamers, they have the same process. So it's not like the world ends because you had to pause the game or get up. Like, nah, the people are there because they want to see you and they're following you or whatever. So it's not even on the streaming tip. I don't see how that could be a severe detriment.
It isn't.
Right.
So
Unless you have to, maybe you have to like a serious emergency where you have to actually leave.
But at that point, you just shutting everything
Yeah,
down.
shutting
anyway.
everything down to come back.
Yeah.
Come back later.
Like, even like that's what I was just saying.
It's-
Like, it's not even a thing of streaming, because I don't even think streamers would be bold enough to say something like that.
No.
They
no,
would not be bold.
Ooh,
They'd be like, nah, I ain't losing my you out your mind. I ain't losing my
No.
audience over this.
nah.
Because
So,
the
now, but-
streamer's audience will know, because the streamer's audience care enough about them as a streamer to pay attention.
Right.
Yeah.
now I don't know. I missed about the first 20. But did you guys actually agree with the pause thing or no?
I'm indifferent.
Yeah, I'm indifferent. Like, pause or not. I mean, I get what she's saying in the sense of, like, to me, every game should have a pause unless it's multiplayer based.
Yeah.
Understand. But like you said, two things can be true.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is you got the home button. All you gotta do is hit it. It's
That
gonna
too.
automatically pause and quick resume.
Which I mean, I don't think a lot
Everybody
of people
got
think
it.
about that. Like a
Yeah.
lot of people don't think about it, but yeah, it is an easy way to go ahead and pause
Hit
the
the
game.
home button, go. And I'm sorry, but when you become an adult, and that's why I keep telling people, like, being an adult is overrated. You have responsibilities, dog. So
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Like, you say, her saying that is like, are you an adult or a child?
But I
Which
have
one
another
are you?
question. So, and we might not have an answer for this, but did this spawn from her being on a live stream?
I think it was a.
I think it was a video she uploaded.
No, yeah. So it was just one of those situations she was talking about stuff like what was the because I saw it and then I got mad.
Yeah, I saw the video and I was like, well, where's it stemming from? Was it like she was just on a live stream one night and she couldn't pause and something happened? Because it when you look at her bringing it up, it's like, well, were you on a live stream or something like, and you were really in like a sponsorship situation? You couldn't pause. You mentioned the kids. We know you don't have those, so that wasn't a thing. So what made you bring this up?
I tell you what though, she better not be crying victimhood because this went viral. Like it's all over the place.
It's all over the
Oh,
place.
she definitely going to.
Oh, she already did. She already did the video talking about they trying to cancel her.
Oh, that 3-hour one.
Yeah, she already did the video talking about they trying to cancel me over this. I'm like,
She
That's
put
what-
herself in that position.
that's when I said this is about money. I'm like, this is about money because
Yeah.
all the white knights finna get together and they're gonna support her because how dare you guys disagree with her?
That's
When
my
the
queen.
when the GoFundMe going to show up? When the GoFundMe going to show up?
I mean,
That's
It's
what
only a
I'm
matter of time.
Number one, Sony Santa Monica ain't fired her, so she's fine. She's
Oh,
fine.
that's only a matter. Look, either way,
Crazy.
the GoFundMe still gonna pop up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So,
Hey,
you know what?
whew, boy.
To be fair, That's not even the worst thing they got said this week, in my opinion. There's one worse. Sean Layden.
I don't even know. So I'm
so
you had that one.
Did you say PS2 sold 200 million?
No, not yet. Not yet. I'm expecting them to come in the next month. But he was saying there only needs to be one console.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It ain't PlayStation, so what are we even talking about?
My thing, if there's one console and everything shifted to that one console, that means there's no competition. Nobody has to try anymore.
There's no creativity.
Everybody's going to be screwed in the end.
Yeah, there's no creativity. The creativity goes out the window because this is gonna sound like a fan. This is gonna sound fanboyish, but the hell with that, it's the truth. Nintendo the only one that's actually creative. They're actually the only ones crazy enough to do something crazy. And
that's not fanboyish. That's not fanboyish at all.
It's truth.
That's just facts.
This is the one that I know people hate over. Splatoon. Splatoon is not supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to work. It's not.
It works.
Yeah, especially when we talk about what everybody's making.
Yeah.
As far as shooters are concerned, they all want to be ripoffs of Call of Duty or Destiny, and they took and put a fun spin on it to say, you know what? If you don't like your kids doing all this shooting and killing, let them paint the walls.
Yeah. let them vandalize. Let them vandalize them all.
Right.
But listen. Let them do it without destroying your house.
There you go. There you go.
You can vandalize a mall, a warehouse, a skating park, like
skyscraper,
an aquarium, a skyscraper. So I'm like, bro, you're not supposed to. But that's the thing, and every time I hear somebody say this, it's all because they don't want to buy a Nintendo console. Mm-hmm. It's usually because they just want those games on their system. But I'm like, bro, it's not going to be the same. It's not because Nintendo makes their games for their system. It's not the other way around.
I've told people that all the time. Like even getting into emulation, like if I've played a game already a certain type of way, it just don't feel right. Like Crash for me never felt right outside of a PlayStation controller. Like it just doesn't. I've tried to play it on the Switch. I tried to play it on it just don't feel right. Yeah. Because some things, even though they don't do it in the same way Nintendo may do it, it just feels right with certain controllers.
Triple M, you're absolutely right. The Wii U was that. Mm-hmm. Asymmetric gaming. It had the best freaking. If you were into fantasy football, fantasy baseball and all that fantasy sports, they had the best ticker in the doggone industry at the time. The TV remote was off the chain. Like they had a universal TV remote in the doggone gamepad.
Right.
The application. Mm-hmm. Like they had that whole swath of stuff they did, and Western gaming media tried to pretend like it wasn't good. So I'm sitting here because Sean Layden ain't the first person to say that. Jason Rubin said it too years ago. Basically, that there needs to be one console, but his excuse was he didn't want to. He just straight up said he didn't want to buy a Nintendo console for his kids. I'm like, you're a CEO. I'm pretty sure you haven't bought a console in the last 10 years.
Right.
But then again, I'm like, THQ went under right after that, so there's that.
Who knows?
There's that. So I'm like, okay, Sean, I'll bite. So reasons he may be right. I couldn't think of any, but reasons he could be wrong.
I can think of one reason he might be right. Mm-hmm. And that is simply because it would be easier for everyone to know what platform they are playing on.
Yeah. That's the easy one. Yeah. If I was to send somebody to the store or go to the store myself, and it's like, I just want that game. And like, okay, only one console exists. I don't have to figure that out. Now, for me, that's a little different, but like we always use the grandparent and things of that nature. But yeah, that's the only benefit because honestly, I don't see the developers trying any harder.
Nope.
let's be honest. Nope. They're not trying any harder.
No, what's going to happen if that were to be the case? And let's just use Sony as the example. Do y'all want to pay $1,000 for a console? For just the base console?
Oh,
Yeah.
and
please believe it'll be
$150
$1,000.
for just the base controller.
Mm-hmm.
And the
$150 per game.
And the controller only got 2 hours of battery life.
And I'll tell you what, as much as they cry, these Sony fans, they not Neo Geo rich like that.
No, they're not. No.
Not even close.
They're gonna pretend they are.
So what medium do we have to where there's only one of that thing? Because even if I'm looking at movies, there's multiple theaters.
Yeah, we don't have just one. That's the thing is.
The only thing is DVD now, right? But then that's your Blu-rays.
Yeah, Blu-rays essentially Sony right now.
But we put that in the category of like physical versus digital, so there's still multiple ways to obtain it.
Yeah, that's
true. And there's multiple players. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think the thing is to me, and look, I get what he was probably trying to say, but the problem is, dude, it would kill the industry that you supposedly love.
Yeah.
Like the problem with saying, "Oh, it only needs to be one," is you kill competition. Because I'm telling you, if we went down to one, Nintendo ain't making games no more. You're not getting Garage, and you're not getting EAD, you're not getting none of them boys.
No.
Can I go ahead and put my tinfoil hat on?
What's up?
What if I told you this is them just trying to stir the pot for the Wii U situation all over again?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, this time that ain't gonna work this time because Nintendo controls the narrative.
There you go.
But if they start pushing the issue and saying, "Hey, there needs to be one system,"
we all went to PC.
They're trying to push for a situation where maybe Sony needs to buy Nintendo, maybe Microsoft needs to buy Nintendo. We gotta stop Nintendo for being the thing.
First of all, Microsoft already tried that twice and it didn't work. Sony,
it's funny.
Sony honestly doesn't have the money to do it. Because if they had the capital to do it, they would have bought Activision.
Yeah.
They don't have the money to do that.
They got too much debt.
Yeah, they got entirely too much. That's why they can't buy Square Enix. They could barely get a Bungie.
Sony Ericsson was the biggest flop. Like, I don't know what they were thinking. That was a big money hole.
Hey, I was a fan of Sony Ericsson phones. You could tell me you should. Oh
yeah,
Sony Ericsson phones.
And to be fair, like, dude, the Vaio laptops was off the chain.
Yeah, they were.
Good stuff.
Yeah, they made good stuff, but when you keep going into the red trying to keep up with Microsoft, that's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you ain't got that money. Google, Apple, and Tencent got that money, and Amazon got that money. You don't.
Mm-hmm. And that's crazy when you think of it too, because those Sony Vaios today they still have a better lens than a MacBook does.
That's crazy.
They put a Carl Zeiss lens in a laptop, bro.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, their phones are amazing. Like, even for the people that were crazy enough to buy their MP3 player, like, it's quality.
Yeah.
The Walkman MP3 player,
and with that Sony, and you have access to the Sony Music Library, bro. You know how much music that is.
Man.
That's why I always laugh when I hear people talk about, oh, well, you know, y'all, Nintendo, they're ruthless about their IPs. Sony is ruthless about that music.
Oh, way.
Sony BMG recordings. Oh my God. You don't even have a contract. They're just like, we own you. We own you,
bro. If you're reviewing a movie and one of these trailers has their music in it, they will shut your damn
I've been hit
down.
Even if it sounds similar, I've had to debate a couple of times, like, yo, this is not from Sony. Chill, this is my music. Like, this ain't got nothing to do with Sony.
Bro, they do not. They are one of the most. They ruthless with it, dude. Bro, I was reviewing a movie, put the trailer in there, and they shut my whole video down. I had to go to YouTube, tell them what it was. They still said I had to remove the trailer because that's what Sony wanted. Sony wanted to remove it because I don't know if you like the sound or not.
Sony out here thinking we own sound modules exclusively. Man, get out of here,
bro.
So, hey, that cowbell, that's ours.
Yeah.
But but in a world of having one platform,
that doesn't make sense.
One, it'll be boring. Two, it wouldn't be productive at all. Because honestly, where you keep a lot of people is having options, right? Yep. It's like, okay, people go to PlayStation because of the story base games. They love the controller. That whole nine. People go to Microsoft because they love the controller and they also love, I guess,
Microsoft online.
Their
Because the online is the best. Yeah, it's the
and
best
then
out of all.
Nintendo is just that creativity. So if you look at all three of them, they all have different controllers and different functionalities within those controllers. They all have a strong suit. About like we say, Xbox Online, I would say Sony's strong suit. I guess most will say their IP. Nintendo, for me, is their creativity, which encompasses their IP, the system, and everything else.
Xbox OS and ecosystem is pretty solid too.
Yeah,
When
it is.
You sign in to OneDrive or you just scan a barcode on the front, everything's there.
Yeah, it's done. It's similar to Android now because Android is like that too. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want one space the same way we look at some genres or certain like games, like for football, for example. It's only Madden.
Like, it's been like that since 2005, and it's been a problem.
That's the best example of why one single platform won't work.
Actually, I got a better one. I have one better one. I don't know if y'all are wrestling fans. When it was just WWE,
yeah,
20 plus years,
mm-hmm.
bruh. If you was a wrestling fan, you were hurting.
It was diluted.
Yeah,
everything became
because like New Japan them wasn't over here like that. Ring of Honor didn't have the TV like that. TNA tried, but they couldn't. So when AEW showed up, and now you see how WWE be pissed off every week because they won't go away. AEW won't go, but since they've come in, I'll put it like this: AEW has introduced me to more wrestlers that I've never heard of before. They get TV time from different companies. Hell, Forbidden Door is my favorite pay-per-view every year because you get to see so many different people in different styles you've never seen them before. Like WWE was not doing that because Vince thought that anybody else was stupid. And
that too. And then their new talent wasn't exciting, so you didn't care about the talent that they were bringing up. They weren't hyping them well enough.
That and whoever was writing their stories and their dialogue was trash.
Yeah,
that's
you can tell it's cut and paste.
Because I'm sitting up here, I'm looking at perfect example. I'm looking at like Swerve Strickland. He was in NXT for how many years? 2-3 years. They fired him just because it was a pandemic. They were just cutting people left and right. Dude is blowing up since he's been at AEW.
Who's the new Samoan now that's literally copying and pasting Roman Reigns storyline?
Oh, that's like Cole. That's Solo.
He's doing the Roman Reigns anti-hero line like right now.
Yeah, it's Solo. They doing the whole bloodline again.
Like I don't like what. Who doesn't see this? Like, okay.
So, but that's to me is like the best example of it because like when he bought WCW and ECW, I'm like, dude, this is over.
That killed it. That killed it.
And I remember coming back into wrestling because I stepped away from him a while after he had bought everything, and when they had that whole thing of like reading tweets at the podium, I was like, "What is this?" Like,
and they still and ever since they got Logan Paul, they still doing. They heavily doing that mess now.
Wow,
that's insane, man.
So I'm like, okay, but once again, AEW comes in, they can actually they've only been around 5 years, but yeah, WWE got like a 50-year head start, but they causing enough noise that they can't be denied.
But it also makes
the competition.
It makes the older head look and say, you know what, we never thought about that. Let's put our own spin on it. You see it all the time. Like there's always going to be some form of copying or borrowing and then putting your own spin or twist on it. That's because you're not going to always think of something. Like even like from a music standpoint, like I can't just sit here and think of stuff all the time. I'll listen to a song and I'll come up with 2 verses off top because I'm like, oh, that was creative. I can put my own spin on it. But you gotta have that competition. Even though I was told that competition is stupid and that I was trying to force a narrative, but that's something different. But competition is a thing, and you need it. So to have one console, I can only imagine those presentations. Like, are you going to split them up or like you have like a PlayStation like showcase with everything that Microsoft would have shown, PlayStation would have shown, or what Nintendo would have shown? That would be the longest.
And it would be boring.
Yes,
it would definitely be boring.
It would just be boring. I mean, because we'd have that same monotone, either AI voice or, God forbid, it's another CEO on the stage, and we just like we had to sit up and go through 2.5 hours of this BS.
Yeah,
we already did that what E3 was that when Sean Layden kept trying to make people get hyped over that, over share button and shit. What 2014? E3 2014? I think it was when Sean Layden was trying to get everybody hype over. Yeah, we had this many shares, and yeah, like nobody cares, dude. Like, can we get to the fun stuff, please?
Yeah, because it's a presentation thing. Like Nintendo was colorful. It pops. They do their thing. They've gotten it mastered. Not Nintendo, but Microsoft world premieres. That is their go-to. Yeah. With Sony, like you said, is that British like monotone voice that just kind of just glazes over everything. And then even now, like with Treehouse Lives, I didn't even know they did one with the NES game that they already dropped.
Yeah,
but no one else does that.
No.
So I would never.
Because I remember when Microsoft had theirs and we saw Perfect Dark. I'm like, this needs a Treehouse Live.
Yeah.
I'm like, and the sad thing about it is the guy that used to head it up at Nintendo is over at Damon Baker is over at Microsoft, and I'm like, Microsoft, he's in house.
Mm-hmm. Chances are they don't want to listen to him because they did attempt it at first. Yeah. But when they attempted it, it was during the pandemic when everybody's equipment was shoddy, and they was just trying to cobble stuff together. So they haven't given them a chance to really do it again.
Like let that man cook. Like that man, he knows what he's doing. Let him do it. Like, bro, like Perfect Dark, Gears of War E-Day, and Doom, Dark Ages should have had Treehouse Lives.
Yeah, it should have.
Those three should have had Treehouse Lives. That's to get people hype and just show them, hey, this is what the game look like. This is what it play like. I don't want to hear your mouth no more talking about these CGI trailers we just showed y'all. Here it is. It's 30 minutes of it. Now be happy. But yeah, they won't do that. I don't understand why Sean Layden thinks that is gonna work. Like that is horrible.
Here's one other thing. Since people want features so much, what y'all think would happen with one platform?
You
want all those extra features? Oh well, you are paying for every individual one at a premium price.
Well, first of all, we would get rid of all those crazy gimmicks that one company tends to keep trying to do.
Right.
Gyro. I don't want gyro. Quit stick.
But I thought also, too, with what he said, I felt like he had centered it around console wars.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
That was his...
We have crossplay.
Yeah. But that was his big... remedy for console wars. I'm like, dude, that's not gonna stop because y'all started it.
The remedy for console wars, and I've said it multiple times over, for all third-party games to be on every platform and just have crossplay. That's all you have to do.
But here's the problem. The problem is, perfect example. There was a tweet earlier today. First Descendant. Somebody put up the frames per second for the PS5 and the one for the series. And I'm sitting here like, did you even enjoy? Are you enjoying the game? Are you enjoying the game? Console wars is never going to stop because House, Matrick, they all started that mess.
Right.
They started it. So now it's never going to go away.
No.
And I know, I have a feeling Phil don't like it because it's like it's killing their money.
Yeah.
It's killing their money. And then on top of that, when you're trying to do, because remember, they was trying to do crossplay years ago, and Sony was the one that kept rejecting it. Nintendo was like, hey, yeah, we'll do it. Yeah. Sony's like, no, we ain't doing it. We ain't doing it.
Like Sega Snap back in the GameCube days.
Yeah. So I'm like, bro, like, you started this stuff, so you really need to keep your mouth shut because you ain't even in the gaming industry no more. So you are part of the problem.
Yeah.
I'm like, go ahead. If there's going to be a single platform, let it be Nintendo then. And see what their response is.
Oh, they don't want that.
No, they don't want that. Because now you got a Japanese company that own this stuff, and they won't be able to,
won't be able to regulate it the way they want to.
Yeah, which is the whole thing. Like I said, it's a repeat of the whole Wii U thing anyway. The goal is to push Nintendo out of the market by any means necessary because they ain't gonna be.
You'll waste too much money doing it. That's why Microsoft stopped.
So
you waste too much money doing that.
Think about what's happening. I got a video opinion on this, but what's happening is you're starting to see more and more capital is required for these games. So they keep asking for it, and people are doing funny things with the money. So like hey, we need this big project or whatever, right? So you got middle management, mismanagement, but at the top is what's worse because all that's happening is these people are lending you this money from the board or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they just take the profit from it once the project is actually successful, and then they just go buy another yacht or what have you.
Yep.
And it's not going back to the studio. The studio isn't getting plussed up or anything like that. If they do, it's temporary. Like it'll be quick, and it's probably common that you'll find a studio. Hey, we got a brand new studio and it's up, blah 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 blah, and they get closed within a year or two, like regardless of how well the game did. So but that's where everything's pushing to, and so they have to like massage the masses to agree with this. Because if not, what we'll do is we'll take our ball and go home. When we start seeing games with these, because remember when they tried to push 3D, they tried to push really, really expensive DLC at one point. They tried to push paying for betas and alphas, and like people were just like, no, I'm not with this. And they're like, well, you won't own your games. You sure? Because what I'm not going to do is buy your platform. And so that stuff, that's when Sony was like, because please believe the PlayStation 4 was going to be the same way, where there'll be DRM in all your games, and then they saw how it affected Microsoft, and they're like, well, let's roll all that back.
Yeah, there was going to be the exact same.
Sony was literally already doing it with music and videos. They were going to do it with games too.
Because remember, Microsoft went Sunday, Sony goes Monday.
Yep.
When they saw that backlash, they changed.
No. When that happened, they were going the same day. And Sony delayed their conference by like an hour to take everything out. Because before that happened, we saw the camera thing and the little sensor bar that they had come up with.
Yeah.
So it was like, y'all just took everything back.
And as a matter of fact, they still sold the camera because they already had the stuff already.
They just sold it separately.
Yeah. They had the camera because it was already had like, what was it like? It was 100,000 already made, I think it was at the time.
Yeah.
So they already had to sell it because they already had made it. So they had to sell it.
Because again, they were fearing Nintendo. And once they saw that Kinect took off for 360, Microsoft was like, yeah, well, we're just gonna have it built into our next platform. So Sony's like, we can't be caught without that either. And what if Nintendo does something stupid and they create like a Wii U 2 or something and it becomes super popular? Oh yeah, they knew that. So they tried to jump ahead and have something else with like some motion control that was a little bit more accurate at the time. Because they all wanted to jump in on it, but they're like, well, we have this camera in your house and we can kind of control everything you do. We can see what you're doing in your room. And we can kind of send up little magical updates to a server somewhere where we're watching you, and we can kind of DRM stuff that you buy, even if you bought it from a store. So that's exactly what they wanted to happen, and it didn't work that way.
And then they forgot that they were dealing with adults that left the PlayStation camera on, and boy, did we get some shows.
You got
like the first one's out the gate. It was the playroom, all right.
The playroom.
You thought you were going to be able to take and just manage stuff. You're just like, whoa, we can see what gamers are doing in their lives, so we can profit off of them. Like, this ain't the profit you want.
OnlyFans
nasty out here.
OnlyFans for OnlyFans.
I know the hub was happy. The hub was happy.
Yep.
Sony wasn't
talking about Dan Central was legit, man. I want another one.
Yeah.
I want another one.
Now, where I say they dropped the ball up was Dragon Ball. Like that Dragon Ball game, I was ready for that Kinect game, and then I saw it. I was like, nah. I dropped the ball.
I'm good. I'm good.
But no, I really did like the Kinect though. I feel like they could have done something, but that narrative got pushed too hard.
Yeah,
of like, they're watching you. I'm like, so what do you think your cell phone, your laptop
is doing? Yeah. Because they had it was a mech game that was on Kinect that was tight. That was real tight. I can't remember the name of it though. But it was a mech game that I liked on there. I'm like, okay, this is actually pretty dope.
Yeah.
They just didn't want to stick with it. Like once again,
I don't blame them though. Like what?
Well, they should have tried to do it because that's not what they stuck.
That's not what they do.
Yeah, and like Nintendo gonna do Nintendo stuff. Don't try to do what they do because you're not built for that. You're not built for crazy.
The only upside to that story is it still exists in the medical community, so they're still using it there. So the tech isn't actually dead. So at least
the balance board is still and the
that still get used in
the balance board and the what's still around too. So
in the old folks' homes for sure, and then also in the physical therapy.
Physical therapy. They use the Wii U balance board and Wii Fit and the other one, the other game that they had. It was just with the remote and chuck. They still use those, so I'm like, it still gets I just thought it was funny.
Nah, toy ain't getting used nowhere.
No,
I guarantee
nah, it ain't. So last thing I want to talk about was Tuesday. Microsoft went down, and it was down for a few hours. So
yeah, I heard about that.
Now, here's the thing. Here's my question, because for some reason, people still think they want these live service games and always online games. When are people going to wake up to that? This is a situation that can happen where you can't get on at all. Period.
The moment that is more inconvenient than it is convenient, because that's going to always be the issue. There's always that level of convenience. I'm willing to put up with the BS if you give me more convenience, and that's with everything. But
that's why Netflix exists.
Yeah, that's why Netflix exists. Like, they can raise that money, and you'll see people like, they raise it. What? Man, they stupid. You still paying for it?
Yeah,
but it's
like, hey, look, in their defense, Beverly Hills Cop Axel is good.
It is.
Yes, it is.
I haven't touched it. But I mean, but that's the convenience factor, because I mean, even I saw some putting in their disc and it wasn't working, and I'm like, oof, that's a tough one.
Well, that's the other thing too, because like I know people they love to get mad at people that don't buy everything physical, but I'm like, bros, a lot of these games ain't on the physical media. What are you talking about?
No,
like you're in the same position I'm in.
The other thing about that is too. Turns out it wasn't even just Xbox; it was the entire Southeast CDN networks. So anything partnered on that, to include like it was Tubi and some other networks, they were all shut down.
Yeah, they all got beat up.
So when something like that happens, that lets you know the power of not the internet, but the local providers that are around you. That's how you actually get your content. It's all cached first before you get anything.
Mm-hmm.
So if any of that goes down, like it. I mean, you could wreck a nation if you wanted to, if you pick those as targets instead of the internet as a whole, because the internet as a whole is still going to be up somewhere.
Yeah.
You can't shut it all the way down,
because that's why AT&T got sued. Like when they had that big outage like for a day, and they ruined a lot of people. Crazy thing about it is I didn't even know it was happening. We went to my girlfriend at the time had she had a 5K she was doing. So me and the boys, we drove out there, parked in the parking garage. If you've ever been to downtown Tampa, every parking garage looks the same. So if you don't mark where you parked, you'll be lost. So we walked, and I did not mark it. I didn't think about it. We walked, and the next thing you know, after she's finished, we were walking around for at least 2 hours trying to figure out where I parked my car. And I'm thinking like, oh, okay, let me go pull up LoJack or pull up something. And they were like, we're tracking the last spot was at your house. It's like, how was that? I said, oh, the servers went down. We're connected to AT&T, and so we haven't tracked anything since yesterday. So it's like all that it takes is that.
It was bad, and so the thing about that was it affected everybody, not just AT&T customers, because AT&T owns a lot of towers.
Yeah.
So even if you're a Verizon or Sprint, whatever kind of customer you are, or whatever, if your nearest tower was an AT&T tower, too bad, so sad, you were down. Like it. And it was for the better part of almost 24 hours total.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a lot of people hurting in my area over here.
Yeah,
it was pretty bad.
Yeah, but that's why I was like, that's why I wanted to bring it up, because I'm like, okay, we got so many people who they especially Ubisoft. I don't know why Ubisoft keep trying to do this, but they want to push this live service, and I'm like, bro, no country has the infrastructure for this yet.
No,
exactly.
No country does. So I can understand maybe 1 or 2 games, since the generations are long now, maybe 1-2 games a generation for that. But trying to make like a whole, we're gonna do 6-7 games. Nah, dude. Nah. I don't think that's a wise decision.
It's not feasible anyway, because you'd have to expect all of the same people that would be on every other one to be on those two.
Yeah,
it's not going to work out.
Is what the only live service games that are successful are the ones on PC, correct?
For the most part,
PC and mobile.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing though, because if I go and get a different Android phone, I'm straight. If I go get a different Apple phone, I'm good. If I go get a different PC, I'm good. The consoles don't work like that.
Nah,
so
not for the most part.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I don't understand why Ubisoft tried to make that a part of their main strategy. I'm like, dude, that's a stupid strategy to have right now.
Yeah.
I guess they were thinking that the platform that they were spending the most money on championing at the time, they thought that was gonna take off, and I'm like, on live didn't work.
No.
Amazon Luna is all but abandoned, but Amazon can afford it. They're $1 trillion company.
Yeah.
So I don't know what Google was thinking. Like, it's just not.
Google handicapped their idea by taking a bunch of other stuff
yourself?
But Ubisoft put all their money behind that for the games they were trying to. They were buying all the dev kits. They were all in on it, and I'm thinking they had some planning to do all their games like that going forward because of that.
Well, the other thing too is they couldn't explain it. Like you couldn't explain the pricing structure. You couldn't explain how the games would be if they got rid of them. And guess what happened?
People lost everything.
Yeah.
Now the good thing was they were able to download saves, but it was like, why did we have to figure that out while you were burning? Like the ship was going down, and then you were giving us answers. You were supposed to give us those answers before the ship crashed. Like, it's crazy.
That's so sad, man. That's so sad. And I hear that the controller is actually pretty good.
I've never heard it.
I wanted to get one. I never got one. They were on sale.
That Stadia controller was actually good, but like Andre said, they got rid of most of the stuff that would have helped it.
Look, they destroyed Hangouts on Air.
Yeah.
I'm like,
they got rid of Google Plus. Or took it back, made it an intranet and not internet.
Like y'all couldn't throw some ads on there to allow a free version for the public.
All they had to do was take Hangouts and say, "Hey, we're building a platform with Hangouts built in. So you playing a game, you can live stream directly from it. This conversation we're having right now could be in the middle while all of us are gaming, and any one of us could just pick a window and add our gameplay."
Nuts.
But that was what they were supposed to be able to do. You're supposed to be able to see the live on YouTube and either click on it or tap on it and be drawn into the lobby of the game that the person was playing.
And that would have been the best part of it, because if your game isn't happening on a console, because your console doesn't have to host the session, it's in the same data center with where your game is being played. So
that's what's like y'all got rid of all of the tools that would have made the thing you wanted it to be possible, and then you're going to try to go back and add in these features that never got added.
No.
And then they turn around, they say, "Well, it's dead for everybody else. We'll continue to sell it to businesses." And businesses are like, "What?
I'm not doing nothing
Skype and Teams? Like, we don't need
the reason we used it. The reason we use it is because people had access to it."
Yep.
So anybody that has a setup, it would have been them. And then even then, I would say their other mistake was I didn't understand the fact that I had to pay for a service and then also buy the game too. Like I didn't get.
That should have been all in one. That should have definitely been.
And they couldn't explain it. Anytime somebody asked them, they couldn't explain it. Nobody could.
So what are you purchasing when you buy the game? What are you doing? Like, you're already paying to subscribe to a service. So yeah, it should just be all together. They should have came up with a different pricing structure for that, which is effectively what Game Pass ended up being. But
that would have been dope. Like, if I'm seeing Shadow play something on YouTube, I'm like, yo, that's dope. Let me click on the button and it throws me in the game. Like, I'm sitting here, or I'm sitting at my laptop, or even with them working within any browser, so I could be on my Quest and play it from there. Like, that would have been dope. Like, Google is the only business I know that has their hands in everything to where it can all work together, and they just choose not to.
Well, they got ADD, man.
It seems like
whatever they got ain't even that. It's worse.
Because for me, like as a person that likes like phones, I can foresee them getting ready to mess up this next Pixel Fold. Like, I feel like they're going to drop the ball with this phone.
Yeah.
I gotta get my mom a new phone, man. I hope the Pixel is good, because
you can
the Pixel 2, I think she had, was the last one.
The Pixel.
Oh, wow.
The Pixel isn't a bad phone.
It's
just Google.
Google being Google. Like, it's the weird. Like, when we talk about form factor, like, I didn't like the fact that Samsung's Fold was like a little bit narrow and tall, and then so you pretty much had to open it up for everything. To where with the Google Fold or the Pixel Fold, it was kind of like a passport, if you will, kind of similar to the Surface Duo.
So you get different layers depending on what part you fold up, and it changes the UI. Okay.
So it was like it was a small form factor, so it was real easy. You know, you can slide it in your pocket. It was real thin. So I like the form factor, but I feel like because Samsung has been successful, they're going to go that route. And that's the last thing I expected them to do, because that's why I wanted Microsoft to stay on board with the Surface Duo, like having the hinge opposed to having that crease with the flexible screen. Is just Microsoft and their phones. I love their concepts. It's just they can't stay on board. Like I love the towel idea that they had a long time ago when they had Lumia, and they didn't have enough apps. So yeah, there's go the Lumia. There go the Lumia phone. So I don't know, man. We'll see.
That was Windows 8.1 RT.
Yes, sir. Love that phone. Can't tell me nothing about that phone.
Man, what a time.
I know. Well, because that man, I miss the Google Plus. Jesus,
RJ, you can't say that, because if people say that if you tell them people that they abandoned PSVR or Vita, they'll be on your head about it. So
I mean, they are sticking with PSV. Well, Vita by releasing a new one, but they aren't.
Vita was supported in Japan. They just cut it everywhere else.
Yeah.
They cut that one real quick. Why aren't we getting 3DS numbers?
Because I have to pay game prices for these freaking memory cards. Like that's
legit mob prices.
Yeah. Well, Yakuza. But yeah. All right, peeps. That's gonna do it for this episode. I hope you guys had a good fun. Thank you, everybody in the chat. We appreciate you for listening to us wax poetic about stuff. So Andre, anything you want to pimp out?
I mean, look, just go over and hear my rant and hear the spiciness at the end of it. And also me talking about Stellar Blade and it not actually being a flop, because people don't understand what a flop is. Talking about the disrespectful doctor that likes that likes him young.
Pediatrician.
He out there be dapping up Drake and being best friends. So
not like us.
Oh
man.
Definitely not like us.
Oh nah.
No Diddy, bro.
No Diddy.
I'm mad that caught on so fast.
I'm not mad that it caught on. I'm happy that it caught on extremely quick.
Since Shadow, you have finished X-Men 97, no Bastion.
Bastion.
Oh.
Well, at least not in this because
that dude was wild. That dude was wild.
Yeah, he was wild. I mean, that was true to the comic. Everything was
except that was that you know what I'm talking about. That was not true to the comic. But yeah, he was wild. He was Diddy partying. But Jack, what about you? Anything you want to pimp out?
Yeah, I mean, definitely go check out the State of VR video that I put up. And for disclosure, if I'm making a video, of course, it's my opinion. So don't go into a video on my channel thinking that it's not supposed to be my opinion. That is the weirdest shit I've ever heard in my life. But yes, definitely go check it out. And it's my opinion on the State of VR, covering Quest 3, Apple Vision Pro, and PSVR 2, as well as PC VR. So definitely go check it out.
All right, Shadow.
So coming out there, I'll upload momentarily here, and that's not a joke this time, so you don't have to laugh. I'll be talking about a couple of things we talked about here tonight, and then I'll have my live podcast. Maybe I'll actually invite that guy on. We can talk more about the whole Lana Pierce thing. If not, and he's too
would he join?
If he's too chicken butt to show up or whatever, then that's fine. I'll either discuss it myself. Well, we kind of discuss it here, so maybe not. I'll talk about other stuff. And there's some tech things that happened in the past couple of weeks that Digital Foundry is going back and admitting after the fact. And I want to show people what they were saying at first.
I need you to get on a video with Digital Foundry. I need that to happen one time.
They're not going to do it.
I just, if they invite me to their podcast, I'm just going to ask them a lot of interesting questions. But that would be lovely. But other than that,
they ain't doing that. I hate to be the bearer of truth. They're not gonna do that.
Yeah. It's like, so hey guys, why do y'all talk about the things y'all talk about when they're not necessary for bespoke hardware. Why are you? Yeah. But we don't talk about Bruno. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. You're banning me? Okay. I guess. All right. Gotta make money somehow, right? All right. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's when we said, never come to talk to me about my video games again.
That Eurogamer check. What else can I tell you? Man. But yeah, that's it. I don't really that's how everything's gonna be going, and then I'll set up the quizzes and stuff and invite you guys on the podcast. I have to still nail down a day. I don't know if it's gonna be Wednesday anymore now, especially if I want certain people to come onto the show too, other YouTubers, and bring them on, because for whatever reason, Wednesday is a bad day for everybody.
Right.
So
yes,
we'll see.
Especially around this time of the year.
Yep.
All right, so got some gameplay up of First Descendant on the channel with some Lepic gameplay. Gonna have Blair gameplay coming up tomorrow, so check that out. We just did a fresh take with Vicky on Acolyte episode 6, and check that out. That's actually pretty funny. Also, don't forget we have the BIPOC Stream Awards August 3rd, tentatively set date. That's what Vicky told us. So I plan on having Vicky and the crew on one more time before they go live, just to hash out some stuff when they tie down the date and the time. So be on the lookout for that. Other than that, thank you guys for stopping through. We do appreciate you, as I've said, and we will see you guys next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, people. Peace.
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 Deuces, y'all.